Hello, my crafty friends. This is Lori, Girl on the Ridge. I have a book that I just completed. It's a Sunday evening, and I have to tell you, this book was so fun. This is definitely inspired by Sagita, Angie Bunner, and Eva. It's rustic, it's uneven, it's just a bunch of book pages that I used. I used chipboard for the front and just book pages, and I'll show you. I just took probably 3 to 4 book pages. I glued them all together, gessoed them, and these are my pages throughout the whole book. So one day I was bored and I just did a whole stack, and then I ripped them to different sizes, as you'll see when I go in here. I did, some of you on Junk Journal Junkies probably seen, I rusted my ring binders with this paste, Rust Perfect from, I think it's Ranger on here, Prima. And there's also a orangey one that I used, and then I Mod Podged them. So I really like the rings, how they came out. So again, the front is a paper from my stack. I used beeswax, pictures from Pinterest. This is all beeswax. This is a vintage wedding dress. I used 4 corners and just some seam binding. This is not perfection. This is not even. This is just fun. Rip into it. I suggest, let me just get out a little. If anybody really wants to try something different and fun without a lot of thinking, this is probably the book to try. So over here we have actually 3 different bags, and I did just a lot of sewing. This is Tsunami Rose that I actually baked and coffee dyed. This is just a little time card. And this is Tsunami Rose, where I did a little, again, waxing on that. And a little, just all little tuck spots. And then I did a bunch of beeswax in the bottom there. Here I did a lot of double pockets with, this is all Tsunami Rose, Charming Fragments. And I just like the soft subtleness of the peaches and the greens and the pinks and the blues throughout the book. This is ledger paper I had. And in each of the sheets, I sewed a piece of just the muslin to kind of reinforce the holes. Again, the pages are thick because I glued them all together. And this one is a little tea bag, just a little tea bag pocket, paper clip, and then this is just a piece of ledger paper that tucks in there, and that just flips out, and that's just sewed with some script stamping on it, and another little paper clip. Over here, I love this page. This is stenciled brick. This is flowers I fussy cut out, glossy accented it. I did the corners. This is a little booklet I made with, again, just paper, gessoed it, and did some glossy accents. Made a little pocket out of lace and a little trimming or script stamping. This is just a piece of chipboard I had. And this is a little bag. This is Tsunami Rose that I actually laminated. You can use it as a bookmark or something. This is just a pocket out of an envelope, just ephemera I had. And again, this is just these little booklets I've been making. I really literally have tons of books. I just gessoed them. And just a little book that goes in here. This is, let's see, the little pocket that Crafty Irina showed us. Just a little tag. This was gifted to me by Gail. And then just a bunch of tags and ephemera. And it goes in here. I know it's kind of late, so there might be shadows here. And this is just a half a page with a piece of muslin and some tickets that I glued in there. Yeah, I'm rushing. Doesn't pay to rush. I have to get them out after. But just, and I did some honeycomb stenciling throughout. And just some more tickets. These are dipped, or these are rubbed in with cinnamon. This is a pocket with decoupaged napkin. It's a piece of ephemera. And that flips over, and there's a just a little tuck spot. And this is a little bag that goes, I want to say artsy maze on that. Little burlap. Just all different kinds of, oops, fussy cut, stamp, some ledger paper. It's an extra little pocket. This is actually a pack of seeds I had. And then I played around with different inks, squirted some water on it. I just love the thickness of this paper. And this is just gessoed with the honeycomb stencil, script, stamp, and just different fibers I just sewed on it, and some buttons. Over here is just another half a pocket, Tsunami Rose. And some just material sewed on it. And these are just actually cards that I just kind of sanded off the face of them, or the numbers on them. And so you can write on them. And just a little clip with some seam binding. This is a napkin with the honeycomb and the reinforcement. You can write on that. And this is, again, this is Tsunami Rose, one of her pages. I just cut it all up and just made little tags. It's a napkin. These are all little tags with script writing to write on. A little burlap with her flowers. And over here the same. Just a little journaling spot and another little tag. And some, everything's gessoed, so you can write on everything. This will be for sale in my Etsy shop. And just all coffee stain material. And this page, like I said, this is grungy, rustic-y. Not perfect, that's for sure. This was embossed, an embossed envelope, all sewn, with all different tags that I sewed. And this was a paper collection I had, which I can't remember the name. And just another piece of paper with a gesso. And just some plain writing paper. You can see the different pages, and I just ripped them, and when I liked it, I just stopped and put them in the book. This is a piece of paper that I inked up, and then this lifts up for writing. And then my tags. Seam binding. Over here I have little glassine bags with some little tags. This is another little booklet I made. And then just a whole bunch of ephemera, tags. This is an old music sheet. And you just stick in there. This paper is nice, and it's actually nice and rough. And the other page, this is another little booklet I made using acrylic paint, some little fussy cut. And just a little tuck spot with the ledger paper. And over here, just a little writing spot. And you can write on this too, with more paper. Here's some paper from my stash, another little booklet. This came out of an old math book. And that just tucks in there, and that just folds down here. And it just tucks in there. This is one of my bags that I decoupaged. And on this side is just paper tucked in here with a pocket. Boy, I really do not let this dry. And just some burlap sewed on it. And in here is another piece of paper that paper out of my collection that I just sewed on. And there's a blank piece of paper that's just sewed and honeycombed. Some seam binding. Here is this is a tuck spot in a bag, and it flips over, and there's writing spot. And just my more writing spot in the back. It's from my collection. This is a half sheet that I just put a guest check just for writing with seam binding and a piece of muslin. And again, you can see all the layers of my paper. And flip over my paper, or just a piece of the paper. I just left it. I didn't even ink it because I kind of liked it. This was another envelope that Crafty Irina showed us. And there's some tuck spot. You can do a little writing. And another piece, just a pretty paper. On the back is just some index cards in a bag. And then just a little tuck out. The rings are a little tricky to close, so you kind of got to go backwards. But there's still room to add some stuff. And if you do the rusting, make sure you don't rust the hinges, because they might come apart. You have to keep that part clear. I'll show you the back as soon as I get done flipping. In the back, I just left, it was just a pretty paper with the corners that I just inked up a little. And that is my fun, I will say grungy, rustic-y, uneven, chunky book. And I just wanted to show you some other quickly. I just sat down one night, again, with all my book pages. Let's put this on. And I just made napkins with books and did a lot of gessoing. And these make great little additions to your books. And it's just old book paper. And I just played around with a little acrylic paint. And it has a little ephemera. Some are napkins, some are not. It was just an old calendar from a book that I just got. It was just... And that was another Crafty Irina fold. And that was just a little book. And these are just some envelopes that I just sitting in a chair, glued them and gessoed them just to use up some of my stickers and ribbons. And that was Nectar Creations, Letter to Rose, I think. And that is it. So I encourage everybody to try a chunky, fun, non-measurable, don't worry about the edges being even type book. Have fun with it. Be crafty. Have a beautiful night. And we'll see you soon. Bye.